Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. For today we have on the show, what can I say? The incredible, amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the super awesome Tori. Tori, how are you today?
I am good, Dan. How are you?
Fantastic. And what better way to have an incredible, super badass weekend that to be chatting with someone as legendary as you? You know what I mean?
Try to be.
Sure you are. And let's find out why. Now, before we start, I do want to thank those who are, recently tuning in here, or if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also, on the description below, you're going to find all of Tori's social media. Let's follow her. And all together, let's find out why she's super badass. Now, without further more, let's jump in. So I want to start this whole conversation by, throwing out the first question, which is how everything started. Was there a specific moment in life or experience that made you realize, I want to make this happen?
Yeah, I like to start off saying that when I watch movies and incredible actors and actresses perform, something came to me realizing that I just really want to get people's reactions and I want people to feel something through my performance. And it's an incredible feeling when you get somebody connected to you on the same page and they can understand everything in a way that is so touching. Also, another way that I realized I really wanted to do acting was I was on the show Victorious as an extra and watching Victoria Justice and Ariana Grande perform really, really made me wanted to be an actress. And so just watching even actors and actresses in person perform really touched me and just really inspired me to become an actress.
And here we are. Epic. Epic. And as an actor, you often have to, inhabit the lives of various characters. So how do you approach stepping into a new role? And what techniques do you use to make that character, feel authentic?
Yeah. Normally what I do is stepping into a new character, I would create a backstory for the role and then figure out why they're feeling this way and why they are behaving this way in a way I can relate to it. But also just to see similarities and differences in the character. So normally I would read right through the script and I would take specific dialogue from that character to where I can turn it into me in a way, but I also journal to understand why I'm feeling this way, how can I feel more like this character, and just bring it to life and everything.
Okay. Okay. And well, many actors have, rituals or even routines, right, to get into character. What's
Mhm.
yours? But also, do you have any pre-show rituals that help you to get into, into the right mindset?
Yeah, I would say whenever I go to set or even doing stage, I would study the script really hard and listen to music and do deep breathings. And sometimes when I'm on set, I will actually arrive as the character, and people would probably look at me like, is she like good? And it's like, yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm just mentally preparing myself for today and everything. And then on for stage, I actually, this may sound crazy, but to get myself like really warmed up, I would take a lap around the building just to warm myself up and then come back and then sit in my chair and just look at myself in the mirror and say, you got this. You're doing well. And don't forget to take a deep breath when you're on stage.
Mhm.
So that's how I do it. I might sound crazy, but it works.
Okay. No, you don't sound crazy. With most of the actors that I've interviewed, some of them will have like interesting rituals. For example, I remember some have told me that they run a mile, like actually run a mile before going, on stage. So everything, so they can feel all pumped up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Some of them will just eat a burger, you know,
Oh, interesting.
like something greasy or something like that. So I don't know why, but to kind of get ready. Some of them will eat a bag of jelly beans.
Oh,
Or yeah,
hmm.
or sometimes yeah, yeah, so or sometimes it will just be kind of a walking, yeah, like walking backstage, like do some lab, yeah, like
Mhm.
do a couple of walks here and there to check. Other just some sit, yeah, they will be just sitting where the crowd would be, so they can check like the acoustics. So everyone has like their own thing. But you know what? I find that brilliant because it shows you that at the end of the day, it like it doesn't like you have to create like your own thing, right? That there is no
Yeah.
that there is no specific manual on how to prepare or on how
Mhm.
to prepare a character, for example. And I find that
Yeah.
good because for new actors, I think that you feel kind of relaxed knowing that at the end, yes, you can take pieces from people that you admire or people like that, but at the end of the day, it has to be your thing in order to kind of
Yeah.
it has to be like your thing coming from you in order to make it real and authentic. So
Yeah. Yeah, I just love how everyone has their own unique kind of routine and like the burger. Like I would have never thought about that, but now it makes me actually want to try that and see, I wonder what I would get out of that. So that's actually pretty cool, like whoever said that, like props to you. I would do the same thing. So
yeah, yeah. And one time, an actress told me that she saw another actor
uh-huh.
before going on stage that they were actually throwing up.
Beautiful.
So she was like,
Yeah.
why, why is this guy throwing up? And apparently that was their thing to get ready, which I mean, that is kind of a little bit unhealthy, but you know, um, but yeah, yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
absolutely. It is what it is. So now on the flip side, like
Mhm.
what's the most bizarre or unexpected thing that's ever happened to you, either, on stage or on a set?
Okay. Is it cool if I answer to both?
Go for it.
Cool. I'm gonna start off with the bizarre thing. So the bizarre one is when I was on a stage show called Cabaret, and I was playing one of the Kit Kat dancers, and I was playing Texas, and I had a headband with a little feather on it. And as me and the other Kit Kat dancers were dancing, as the main lead was talking to the saxophone player, grabs the bra, chucks it, and could you not? The strap of the bra landed right on my feather and was hanging on the side of my face. And
Yep.
I was trying so hard not to burst out laughing, but I also was so in character, like acting like, oh, this happens all the time. Like, I love bras. So, like, I just kept performing with a bra just hanging on the side of my face. And I was just like, well, welcome to Cabaret. This is what I deal with, and I'm gonna live through it as sexy Texas. So, thank you very much. And then the unexpected thing was when I was on set playing a deaf chef. Um, those of you who don't know about me, I am partially deaf. I know ASL, so I was playing a deaf chef. They booked me last minute, didn't tell me that I was going to be doing a stunt. So this was outside in the rain, and I'm running downhill. All I can think of is, okay, I need to do my performance, but I also don't want to trip and fall. And then I also have to remember how to do the specific movements for tripping and falling. And so there was like so much running through my mind that I was like, okay, I hope I can do this. I can hope I can do this. I can hope I can do this. And so as I'm doing it, I did the whole routine and nailed it. And I was really proud of myself. Didn't think I could do it, but I've always wanted to do a stunt. So that was such a huge opportunity for me, and I couldn't thank the cast and the crew, especially the stunt people who were so patient with me and helping me get mentally prepared for that fall. And I just couldn't thank them anymore because they were just so incredibly amazing.
And there you go. Two epic experiences. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it happens, things like that, and
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's good that you took it in a positive way, right? And you didn't
Mhm.
and that situation didn't stop you to perform or to, like to kind of make it worse. I do think that sometimes those situations, it depends 100% how we take them,
Yeah.
and with that, it will depend our result in the end. So it's cool. You were like, that's cool, and let's make it happen, and let's continue. And yeah,
Yeah, like anything that happens to any actress or actor, like, if something's spilled on them, like they still got to keep moving, and, like the bra incident. Yes, it was super embarrassing, but all I wanted, like, I could have just ran off stage and never come back out, but I choose not to because I didn't want to fall out of character and ruin that spotlight for me um, during that show. And I love that show. So just push through it and believe in yourself, whatever happens to you, and know that if you can just turn it into even more within depth with your character, that's beautiful.
totally, totally. And also, it shows how badass and pro you are. Just saying.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Now, acting can be, emotionally demanding. So how do you maintain a balance between fully immersing yourself and taking care of your mental and emotional well-being at the same time?
Yes. So whenever I have to mentally prepare myself for something that's we all know if we've gone through it, or if there's some people out there who've never gone through that trauma that the character has gone through, you have to find a way to tell yourself, okay, I have to mentally put myself in this stage and get ready to get through it. And even though I know when I had to do it, I was couldn't stop crying. It was like the most difficult thing ever, but it was okay because I told myself it's okay. It's just today that you have to do it and push through it and know that you are safe and you are going to be okay. You even have supporters on set. If you are so like into the character and you can't break out of it, either the director or the assistant director or even like your makeup artist or costume can help you get out of it and make you feel love and support through this whole situation and to remind you that you are safe and you're going to be okay. And mainly on set, they would warn you and they'll also warn the whole crew too to let them know like this is a serious situation. We all need you to stay calm and please give respect and space to the actor or actress. Um, Anyway, so after that whole situation, I would normally journal to take it all out of my system and especially my mind and my body because it's gonna feel that pain and you just want to breathe and step away from it after it's been shot. Um, and then sometimes I'll just listen to a positive podcast or listen to happy songs or watch a really like happy ending movie and or I will just walk my dog because dogs make me happy. Might as well walk my dog.
Epic. Because you mentioned the thing about the dogs, you just step into my, you just step up the level to badass to super badass now.
Hmm.
Dogs are epic.
They are. They're the best thing ever, and they are like your therapy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Back when I started, I have like so I have four dogs and one of them it's a pit bull.
mhm.
But back then he was a puppy, and I didn't know that I wasn't getting a puppy. I was getting a Velociraptor. And
Oh,
in most of the interviews when he was a puppy, every
yeah,
now and then he will be jumping to the camera. I think there's a video somewhere. I'll be let me check like which one was it, but I think there was one specifically that during the middle of the interview, and it was kind of a, I wouldn't say sensitive topic, but it was an emotional, and a kind of an
yeah.
emotional moment. And then the puppy just came to ruin everything,
Oh no,
just like jump into the camera, or like suddenly you will see his tail like moving around, things like that.
that is so cute.
But it's fun, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, dogs that they have that something, you know what I mean? They have that they know exactly like how you feel or how even to make you feel better when
Yeah,
you were, feeling like a little bit bumped down or things like that. So
No, it's insane how smart dogs are. Like you said, they know how you feel, they know what you're gonna do. It's like, wow, it's like you understand my life and my whole world. Like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you could play any historical figure or fictional character, or you know what, screw it, even an animal in a movie or a TV show, or even a play, why not? Who or what would it be and why?
Um, I am a big fan of classical movies. I would have to say Elizabeth Taylor. She is the most incredible actress and the most stunning actress I've seen, and I just love how she jumps from different emotions on such a beautiful way that you really do feel how she feels, and she wants you to feel that way. Um, I really like the movie she was in, called The Driver's Seat, because that one is a thriller, and I love thrillers, because there's always something like spicy about it. Um, but in this movie, it was very mentally disturbing, but she goes through like episodes of like weird like psychology thinking or something. But the fact that she literally flew to Rome just to find that one person who is trying to kill her. It is like so interesting, but so strange at the same time. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Just don't do that. So I love her and she's incredible. And I wish she was still here. I would have loved to have given her a hug or tell her how amazing she is and gorgeous and stunning she is. So,
I'll take it. Sounds like a plan.
yep.
Cool. And actors have to often, adapt to different genres or even styles of performance. So is there a particular genre or style that you haven't explored yet? But you know what? You would love to explore that at any time in the near future. Why not?
Um, I would have to say action because I just love watching people um run and jump off buildings, fighting. And even in those action films, they have you like sitting on the end of your seat because you feel like you're on a roller coaster, but you're also like having to think twice of like, what are they going to do next? Like,
Mm.
why are they doing that? Oh, it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So it's really exciting, but also like nerve-wracking, but also like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Um, but I also love classical acting too. Just the way everything is shot and the way the lighting is and how beautiful like the actors move very kind of like slowly when they're with their romantic partner and just watching them perform in such a tiny small space is
Mm.
just so fascinating and I would love to be a part of that as well.
Cool, cool. So between that and full action stuff.
Hmm.
Cool. I mean, who knows? Maybe at some point you will even have your own action figure. That will be cool.
Honestly, that'd be pretty cool. Like, I probably would just put it in my room and wake up to that, like looking at it, and I'll be like, this is so cool that I can have an action figure of me. This is cool. I don't have to say about anybody else. That's me.
Yeah, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Um, Now, if you were in a in a stranded or a desert island, and could only
Mhm.
bring three movies to watch the rest of your life, what would they be?
Okay. Um, I would totally watch The Heat. That's
Okay.
an action comedy movie. It's super fun if you like action comedy. I also love this movie called, I think it's Music and Lyrics. It's like a romance comedy. It's just so beautifully written and how Drew Barrymore performs in that movie. And then this other old kind of like 2000s movies with Lindsay Lohan being the lead. It's called Just My Luck.
Hmm, there you go. Actually, my mom loves the film you mentioned, Music and Lyrics.
Really?
Yeah, Yeah, she watched that. I mean, not all the time, of course, but every now and then she's like just watching that film, and between that and some others. So
It's a really good movie. I
yeah,
love it. I don't know why it's not talked about much, but that's okay. Everyone has their cup of tea,
totally, totally. We will be talking more about that film.
right?
There you go. If you could create a dream ensemble cast for a movie, who would it be in it, and what kind of movie we're talking about?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I would have to say Melissa McCarthy because she's super funny, but also can be very serious. Um, Also Ryan Gosling. He would be really incredible with if they're paired up together. I have a favorite deaf actress named Melissa Simon. She's in The Quiet Place. She's incredible and just the way she performs.
Mm.
I like Joss O'Connor. He's from The Challengers. He's super cool in the way he performs. Um, I would have to say Amy Adams as well. She's really unique in her ways, and I think she's amazing. Um, I would have to say the film may be probably in between comedy, action, or and thriller. I think that whole combo would be very fascinating and interesting, um, be put together.
And you?
And me,
Okay.
possibly, if they want me in it, that's fine.
Yeah, why not? Just to put you there, you know?
Yeah, I would love that if that ever becomes a thing.
Cool. Now, The Quiet Place is the one that John Krasinski directed, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I saw that film. It was really cool. It was,
it
yeah, it was an incredible film.
it is. And the fact that he like told the whole crew and cast to only speak through ASL, that is like a fat mad respect to him. Like that is just that's beautiful. We need
Hmm
like more people like that, just to have more respect for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're disabled or not. Like that's just so beautiful and I give him props for even sharing that to the world. So,
Totally, totally. And that like those type of things, I do think, as we were as we were speaking about this yesterday, that they should be teaching, yeah, that they should be actually teaching it in school,
mhm.
to actually help you to it, and I mean to actually, yeah, I think that is a very like important, yeah, a very important subject. If you're able to, to speak, the whole SAL, or if you're blind, or if you are able to read, like if you were blind, I just
Yeah.
forgot like the specific word to it, um. But things like that, because one, life is too short and you never know. And two,
Exactly.
if you meet someone who has like those, yeah, who has that situation, I mean, I think it would be a lot easier for them to communicate, and also to kind of be like more accepted to it. I do think that
Hmm.
sometimes society, it's mean in a way that sometimes yeah, they will treat we will be yeah, like society will be treating those type of people as an outcast, or
Yeah,
not
100%.
giving them, like, you know what I mean, like not giving them like full
Yeah.
attention to it, which at the end of the day, I mean,
Yeah.
no one chose how to, like how to born, or how to choose like how I want to come to this world, or an accident, like things like that.
Yeah.
So I would love if at some point, like, things like that are more open to the world, you know what I mean? Like more
Hmm.
accessible to it. So
Yes. I totally agree with you with that. Like you can't you're either born with it, which I was, and people either accept you or not. And I've actually gone through something where it felt like they say they accept me, but I could just see their whole like action completely different than the way they speak things. So yeah, I feel like if it's more well accepted and people teach that, I think we would all have a better understanding on how to work around us and most importantly to have patience.
totally,
So,
totally. Yes. Yeah, you never know. I once met someone who was who had an accident,
mhm,
and became deaf, and
yeah.
I remember that. that once you were able to have a conversation to it, and when I had a conversation with him, because I didn't know anything about his ASL, we were like writing, and it was actually like a pretty fun conversation because we were just like writing each other to kind of like with blackboards, things like that, and it's incredible like how much you are able to learn from a person who has who is
Mhm.
living that. But also, I do think at the same time that every story deserves to be told, and there's so much things you can learn from someone who has like those type of so
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. You need to teach me ASL, just saying.
I will. I will.
Sounds like a plan.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely. Now, if your life was turned into a movie,
Mhm.
which actor you want to play you and why?
That's a good question. There's so many incredible actresses out there. The one that comes to my mind that I feel like could really understand anybody and has mad respect for anyone, I would have to say Drew Barrymore.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
when I watch her, I just think she just knows how to play a variety of personalities, but also in a way she will take the time to understand the character. If she takes the time to understand the character, then she definitely would take the time to understand who you are as a person and study you and get to know you and bring you into the movie, into real life. And I just think that would be so amazing and beautiful, and there would be no one else I would ask to be that character as me. So,
There you go. I love it. I love it. Now, in the age of streaming platforms
mhm.
and binge watching, what's your those are my dogs, by the way, if you're hearing, but anyway. What is your guilty pleasure on TV show or movie that you could watch over and over and over and over again?
Um, there is one that I have been binge watching on the platform of Netflix. It's called Bridgerton. I just love the way they design the set design in back in the days and the dress. Oh my gosh, everyone has such beautiful dresses and it fits them so well with their personality as the character and even the men. Oh my gosh, like that film is crazy good and I just love it. Because there's like a little spiciness, a little bit of drama, a little bit of romance, but then a little bit of like, that little like sense of nervousness between the characters. You're also like thinking on your toes, like, oh my gosh, like, are they gonna get together? Are they not gonna get together? Like, what's happening? Like, we need to know. So it's just like I hate it when they only put very little, like few episodes, and you're like, no, you finish it and you're waiting for the next episode to come out. I hate that. I'm like, no, I have to know now what the answer is. So Bridgerton it is. I love Bridgerton because many things. So I pretty much just spill it out.
There you go. I love it. With TV shows, it happens the same thing to me. If I get hooked to it,
Yeah.
oh jeez. I ended up watching, I need to watch the whole season, which sometimes once I realize it's like 4 or
Yeah.
5 a.m. and I'm like, ah, crap.
You stay up that late?
I mean, I need to know. I mean, it only takes one episode. And if I get hooked, it's done. I need to watch the next one and the next one and the next one. And
Yeah.
like for example, the a couple of weeks ago, I started to watch Fallout, on Prime, and it took one episode. I watched it like around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start this TV show and just one
Yeah.
episode. We'll see what happens. And I ended up watching the whole season. Once I realized it was already like 5 a.m. and I was like, ah, crap. And the next day and well, a few hours later, I need to go to work. So I was like, ah, crap, I guess I'm not gonna sleep anything. And that was
Oh
like the
no.
worst thing ever because I remember that day at 9 a.m., I was just like constantly fighting over it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. Couple of days later, I watched Reacher on Prime as well. on a Saturday, same thing happens. I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm done. So what I am gonna doing now is that I'm just gonna, I've been able to I've been working on to just watch two episodes and not anymore, and then wait for the next day because yeah, it's besides spending besides of course that most of my day or evening will go there,
Yeah,
I kind of feel like a little bit yeah, like I wouldn't say angry, but annoyed because I'm like, oh, there's so many things I could have done. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So
But what would you watch? Like, what would you binge watch, a TV or a film?
it would have to be Breaking Bad for sure. TV show would be Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Peaky Blinders, absolutely. Vikings too. Game of Thrones, only until the last season. Um, and yeah, TV shows would be those, and movies
Yeah,
I would go between Training Day, incredible film. The Terminal, Castaway, Forrest Gump, um,
Forrest Gump is so good.
right? The Harry Potter films,
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings. Um, what else? What else? I think those are kind of my top. Yeah, I think those are my yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, definitely. And oh no, wait, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yes, that
Oh
also
yeah,
has to be
that was good.
on my top. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Those are very good ones to watch over and over again. I wouldn't have to pick just one. I would pick all of them too. Those are all so
right,
good.
right. And
Yeah.
with Breaking Bad, I discovered like 3 years ago, basically. For
Yeah.
when like around COVID, a lot of
Yes.
people were telling me like, "Yo, you need to watch this," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." Then COVID hit, and I was like, "Well, now that I have a lot of time, let's
Yeah.
watch it." And I was hooked to it. Thank
Yeah.
God that the whole series was on Netflix, and I was like, "Yes, so I can watch everything now." And but it was a bummer because when I finished watching, I couldn't speak anyone about it anymore because I was late to the party, you know. So
Hey, no, you're not.
it was only after Better Call Saul that the whole Breaking Bad came back, and then I was like, yeah, you remember this episode? Yeah, sure, I loved it when that happened, things like that. So,
You're not late to the party. They're just lame.
right? I think the same thing here. You know, there's one animated series that I loved it, which
Yeah.
was Edge Runners. It's on Netflix. That is based on a
Okay.
video game called Cyberpunk.
Interesting. I've never watched that.
Edge
What
Runners,
is it
yeah.
like about?
So it's this, it's this dystopian future, this whole cyberpunk thing, people have like because it's kind of the future, people will have well, like implants to it, things like
Okay.
that. And in the story of this whole yeah, in the story that they created, it was basically California got their independence and became a country.
That's
Um
hilarious.
right? And so you got like these gangs and like this whole thing going on. And yeah, it's an animated one. It's kind of a prequel. It's kind of a whole prequel thing to the whole video game to it. But if you don't know anything
Okay.
about a video game, it's okay because it's like a new thing for you. And yeah, there's every now and then a few animated series and I'm like, okay, I will watch it, but yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good. That's definitely gonna be on my bucket list.
sounds like a plan. Now, acting, often involves vulnerability and putting yourself out there, right? So how do you
Mhm.
handle criticism and rejection in such competitive industry?
Yeah, you know, I just take it as like an opportunity, um, with for rejection, and I turn it more into being grateful and just thinking positive through it. And then rejection, honestly, rejection to me is just all I think of it is as a that's their opinion. Sorry, criticism, that's their opinion. I'm like hooked on the rejection, my bad. The criticism part, it's their opinion. Um, but yeah, like it's just you just have a you just have to have a really, really strong mindset. Like if you know you're gonna be an actress, you have to extremely be mentally prepared for anything. No matter what it is, just know that you have to bring it your all. You have to be positive all the time. And you just have to accept rejection. It's not like in a negative way. It's kind of like, okay, yes, I may have not gotten that part, but at least, like I said, I had the opportunity to audition for that role. And that's a huge compliment. It means they're interested in you, they want to see your work, and you have came so far. So, um, yeah, I would just say just pretty much just have a strong mindset, be positive, and be ready for anything, and just get to be familiar with the industry and surround yourself by people who support you and love you, and who will also bring you into a higher performance of positive thinking and not dragging you down to where you get stuck in a hole and not know what you're doing.
I love it. Incredible, incredible. And at the end, haters gonna hate. So
Yeah, that's okay.
you know, it's just the way it
Kill
is.
them with kindness. What Selena Gomez says.
Yeah. hmm hmm Now, if you could give, I mean, besides what you mentioned, if you could give like another, piece of advice to any
Mhm.
aspiring actors who are just starting out, what would it be?
Yes. Ooh, um, I have sort of a list. Um, I would say the first thing is obviously getting your headshots. Um, Trying to get an agent if you can't, it's not the end of the world because you still can find ways to break through the industry without an agent. Um, you also need to meet up with friends who know how to film and direct and write scripts so you can make a demo reel so you can show your work to directors or any castings you are submitting to. I would also say build your resume. That's really important. Being on Actors Access, casting networks, backstage, or even just finding little small castings on Instagram, that you think, oh, I believe in myself that I can fit in this role and perform this character, and that's another demo reel. I would also say go into acting classes. I know this is kind of cheesy, but it's kind of true. If you want to get also familiar of what's like being on set, I would recommend doing background work. Also, sometimes as a background worker, you might get noticed by the director, and they'll either move you from background to a featured extra, or they possibly, rarely I hear this, but it might happen to you, Bavel, but you may get a line and then you can get noticed from there. Um, but on top of that, you also get to make connections with other workers around you, and they can like submit you to other people around who they work with and what director is looking for, or maybe you may be a specific look for this other film, and they're going to submit you to that casting. So I think Oh, wait, also listening to podcasts. I think listening to podcasts is also awesome because not only they give really good advice, but you also could listen to other people who are also in the industry who give really, really good advice.
Don't forget to listen Chat with Dan show, you're saying.
Yes, don't forget, he's awesome.
Love it. I love it. I tell you what, if I ever become an actor, and if at some point I win something, I'll be mentioning you in my thank you speech, and I will cut the whole trophy or whatever thing in half, so you can have half of it.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't know if that is allowed to, but since it's mine, I can do whatever I want with it, right? So
100%.
there you go. So you will have half of it, and in everything I
Thank
have, half of it. So you get,
oh, well, I'm honored.
totally. If at
That's
some
awesome.
point,
Thank
you,
you.
if at some point someone comes to your house and be like, "Why you have half trophies?" You'd be like,
You're like,
"There
remember the
you
conversation we had, Tori?
go."
I told you. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then I will break it.
I'd actually
Like,
be very surprised. I'd be like, oh, hey, you're here. And you're like, yep, I promise you. Remember? I'm like, oh, right. Are you sure? You're probably like, yes, I want to.
yeah, of course. Here's half of my Oscar, half of my Emmy. I will become a musician too, so half of my Grammy too. Why not? So
Yeah, why not? You want to, if only if you want to.
there you go. We're killing it here. I love it. And if you weren't an actor, What career
Mhm.
path do you think that you would have pursued and why?
I mentioned a little bit of it in the podcast already. Since I'm fluent in ASL, I would be either a professor for ASL teaching it, or even just doing my own scheduling one-on-one private sessions to teach people ASL. We've talked, like I said, we talked a little bit about it. I think it's such a beautiful language in the way that the DHH community um, talks because they're very expressive, and it's so incredible to see someone that expressive that it just makes you truly get the chills. I always get the chills, which is so weird. Like when I talk to my deaf friends, I'm like watching them talk and it makes me want to cry because they're just so into the conversation and the way their body language moves and their expression, and you just love it. You feel like you're alive and you just want to be a part of their world too. Like we're also trying to be a part of your world, but we also are trying to like drag you in to understand us in a way that we feel loved and accepted and want to be involved. So, yeah.
I will just drop the mic, because you just I love it. Yeah, I'll take it. And my last question. So we can all
Yeah.
enjoy and relax after a part of difficult, amazing questions here and there. So what do you think that would be the best title for this episode?
Oh my gosh, that title, I mean, question is so easy to
You got
answer.
this. You got this.
Um, I I came up with like two, like, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but maybe like the best yet to come or passion as fuel.
I like that one. Passion as fuel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we talk about like yeah, yeah, it makes sense. I love it. So we talk about, following your dreams, things like that,
Hmm.
and moments that might be kind of a little bit weird or things like that, but you need to keep going forward, and with that, you need kind of the fuel, so the passion. So I see the dots
Yeah.
connecting here. Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like it made sense because, you have a passion for it, but you also have the feel for it because you want to make it come true. And I think it's true.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves that. And I just love it when people are so career driven and have that much energy and passion just to keep working at it until they get there. And it's just such a beautiful story to listen or even watch, you know? So,
Passion is fuel. Title. Love it. I mean, at the end, what can I say? The fact that you are doing, yeah, you're following your passion, you're doing what makes you happy. I mean, that takes
Mhm.
guts, of course, but you are doing it, and you haven't let yourself. I mean, we all have those moments, right? That we all just want to quit, and happens to all of us,
100%,
you know.
100%.
But it's great that you are keep pursuing it, that you are making it happen, that you're showing results, that you are enjoying the whole journey, right? Sometimes we will be focusing only on the destination and we forget to actually enjoy the ride because I think like during the ride, it's like those moments are kind of teaching you something new, but also are showing you why you are pursuing that, right? And it's incredible what you do. I'm super sure that our next conversation will be about the multiple thousands of projects you've been in, even your own action figure, who knows? Maybe we'll do a whole let's review or a whole what is this called? A whole let's react to it, by open your action figure, be like, oh, so you can, like do this and that. So we'll see what happens. Keep killing it out there, keep rocking out there because there's more people. I mean, we need people like you in this world for sure who can show us that everything is possible. And especially right now that the world is crazy, and it's great that we have people like you that we can rely on and we can get inspired and we can get ideas to follow our dreams on whatever we want. So
Yeah, no, you know, you're right. The world is crazy, and that's okay. You don't have to be involved in it. You just need to work through it. And, it is a battle, but like I believe in you. And I think if you just really truly believe in yourself and you push through it and you just keep going and knowing that I will make it, it's so powerful and just so incredibly, beautiful and inspiring, like
Yeah.
just because like I'm have a disability, it doesn't stop me from becoming an actress. Like I'm so grateful that I am even able to talk, like and not that I'm saying I wouldn't be able, I mean not be unhappy if I'm with just ASL, I would still be happy with that too because that's still communicating. But the fact that I'm able to talk and sign, it just helps me grow as a person and be involved in two beautiful worlds, which we call it the hearing world and the deaf world. And the fact that I can bring them together in such a beautiful way that I can just feel people getting even more inspired and wanting to learn ASL and grow and even mentally for me as an actress too, because I can share that on set with people to get them inspired if you know. So
Yeah. At the end, it's all about enjoying, right? I mean, the other day
mhm,
I was watching this quote in which they were
yeah.
saying that, one day we're all gonna die. It's inevitable. Happens to all of us, and nobody's gonna remember, right?
No.
At some point we will be forgotten, and that's it. So that being said, why not enjoy the time that you are in this world? Why not try something
Yeah.
new? Why not challenge yourself to something that, explore something, discover something new?
Yeah.
Think like that. Enjoy all the type of conversations you have with everyone, because at the same
Mhm,
time, you never know. Because I
yeah.
mean, sometimes we will be putting attention into the wrong things, and we
Yeah.
tend to forget that our time here is just for a while and we'll be gone. Somebody else will continue, and that's it. So why not just make the best of it?
Yeah.
Why don't we just start something we want? Why, like, just enjoy life basically, because you never know. And like when I like that ended up hitting me like a lot, and that got me to this idea, like, what, I want to make sure that by the end of each day, I did whatever I wanted in in the in the situation that I am, things like that,
Yeah.
that I did enjoy it, because you never know, or things might change, or so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Like, people need to hear more about that, and it's true. Just enjoy your life and don't be too hard on yourself, or try not to take things too serious, but it's okay to take it serious here and there. But yeah,
Certainly.
just you never know. You can get hit by a car someday and you're just gone.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
not saying that
absolutely.
happened, but like it might. I'm sorry, just
It's
reality.
life, it sucks, sure,
Yeah.
but in the meantime, make sure that you are enjoying everything you can,
Yeah.
and don't take things for granted too, because also
Hmm.
things change, right? Be humble, like the best advice someone told me once is don't be a dick,
Oh, 100%.
right? You never know, so just don't be a dick and enjoy life, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah. So thank you so much for making this happen. But also thank you to those who are either listening to it or watching this. On the description below, as I
Thank you
said
for
in the beginning,
listening.
you're gonna find all of Tori's social media now, because we discover why she's super badass. Now we can make her viral. Hashtag Team Tori. Let's make her viral. Let's show everyone who is rocking out there, who is super badass. And again, Tori, thank you so much for making this happen. Keep rocking out there. Keep shining. And I'll see you in the next one.